Working class in a place they call the Bronx. Learned on the corner about the school of hard knocks. Found out his rap could be his salvation. Well, now he's talking all across the nation. It's the Ed Tyll Show. It's the Ed Tyll Show. Come on, everybody. It's Ed Tyll. Now that you tuned him in, you know what I mean.
Now, you know what I mean. One of America's greatest rock and roll talents, composers, and enduring icons joins us live. Mark Stein, our guest on the Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network all across America. Mark, what a pleasure. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. That's a great theme, that rock and shuffle is really pumping the radio, dude.
Do you love that? That's Pat Horgan's version of our theme song. Thank you for saying that. Wow. From you, man.
That sounds cool, man.
Whoa.
Very good.
So I'm watching, we all were listening, but I was watching here in the studio, the concert in 2016 in Ottawa as an example of what you are feeling and saying and expressing to the world now. And it was indistinguishable for me. I mean, I did feel like I was a kid again. You spoke to that crowd. You delivered to that crowd. The band did. I mean, it was an extraordinary experience if you're sitting up close where that fan shot the video. Do you mind telling us what that's like to still feel the way you do, to care for the country the way you do, and to have that presence of what music means all now after all this time? I just think it's remarkable. What does that feel like for you?
It feels incredible because, you know, we draw on the energy of the crowd. As long as the crowd has the energy, you know, I still got the energy. You know, at my age, I'm still totally into what I'm doing. I love to perform, and that's what keeps me going. So, I mean, I know I've been doing it for half a century, but it still feels like, you know, the 60s and the 70s. Actually, it feels better now. It feels better now because of all the experiences I've had and all the musicians and great artists I've known, and just the interspersing of all the different styles of music, and, you know, just the whole thing just keeps you rocking, man. It's been an awesome life, and I'm really happy I'm still here to keep doing it. So that's what's happening here.
You know, Mark, that's easy to see on that video. What you just said, some of the high notes, some of the long enduring notes. I mean, you're a music lover as well as a player, so you know over the years, if Sinatra used to walk out there, you were like, man, is he going to be able to hit it? Wow, I love him.
Right.
Yeah, and now you come out, and it was like Aaron Judge on the New York Yankees. You were crushing.
I don't know about that.
No, I do, because I've been there from the beginning. I've been going to rock shows since I was 12 years old, sneaking in when I was too young,
right,
and experiencing you guys. So I hear some of what you just said. There is a comfort, right? This is a tool, an instrument that you have that has really seasoned beautifully. Again, what's it like on your side to have that feel of familiarity when you're belting these songs out?
Well, I mean, you know, again, I'm part of the people. I'm the people. The people are me. You know. So when I'm singing anything, let's pray for peace. Well, you keep me hanging on. It take me for a little while. You know, I just feel the connection is total, and it's always there. I mean, that's why I made a decision. Now it's time to, you know, put my own band together. As you know, the Mark Stein project is, you know, coming out in January, and I'm real excited about that because I got some terrific young talent, you know, in the band, and we're going to go out there and try to rock the world all over again, you know, from a whole new perspective. So,
see, that's the appetite that I think we find contagious when we watch you. You're actually feeling a need to do this yourself, and you're rewarding us at the same time. So when you configure a new band, is this kind of like an expression of the DNA of the way you write, the way you play, or do you deliberately go outside of your comfort zone to try stuff that will test you?
Well, The new band is it's all those things. It's a total classic rock experience because I've really been lucky in my career to play with so many great people like Alice Cooper and Dave Mason and Tommy Bolin, Carl Palmer. Just in 2017 I did a bunch of tributes to the late great Keith Emerson with the Carl Palmer Show. I've made appearances with Deep Purple. I just saw the dawn of Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. Since I'm 18 years old, I've been doing it. And, a couple of detours along the way kind of led me back into what I'm doing right now with the new Mark Stein project. So it's going to be music from all these bands that I've been in. Again, a total classic rock experience and a lot of stories of my career, stories that lead to a song and songs that lead to a story. And I'm real excited about it. I got a great drummer, Charlie Z, on drums, who's played with Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater and Derek St. Holmes, and a good friend of mine, Joe Lynn Turner, of course, the singer from Rainbow and Deep Purple. And Jordan Steinberg is a great New York up-and-coming great talent. He's a hell of a bass player and a killer singer, which is really great for the music. And, from Rat Race Choir and from John Whistle's band and from, Robin Zander's band from Cheap Trick and a whole host of great people, Mr. Mark Hitt is playing guitar and doing backing vocals.
Wow.
And he's awesome. And, this combination of players with my keyboards and vocals is really, I'm just so excited about it. We're going to be doing B.B. King's January 30th. We want everybody to come out and check out this rock experience. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to be playing Daryl's House in Poling, New York, which is a great venue up close and personal. That's on February 1st.
Now that's going to be
Thursday night,
right.
So.
That's awesome. Like you said, that's an intimate venue. So is BB's to some degree, but there is something special that happens. I noticed it again on watching this concert from 2016. Something special happens with you guys in the first couple of rows because you do have a real eye contact, and there is, it's perceptible to both sides. What do you see? What turns you on when you look into the audience? Is it the riveting looks? Is it the looks of, where people are like letting go and flowing with it? What do you love to see when you're up there in an audience?
I see smiles. I see people attention. I see people with the total look of, yeah, man, we're here for you and we're totally into it. And after all these years, you can sense all these things, So, that's it. It's just it's a collaboration of all these things. So
it's so tempting. I was reading your book last night, and we spoke briefly the other day to arrange this interview. And it's so tempting because to use your eyes for us to learn from you, from everybody you've been around, is an amazing, indescribable lesson. At the same time, I think for those of us who really do remember the song and the presence and the era, the Rascals had an effect on you, right? I read this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Felix Cavalieri was, Felix was my main influence on Hammond B3 and Blue White Soul Singing. I used to, when I was 18 years old, I used to go see this new band called the Young Rascals. Mm-hmm. Before they deleted the name Young when they made it big. Right. But it was the Young Rascals, and they were playing around, the bars out in Long Island. But when they played at a discotheque called the Phone Booth in New York City, I mean, I just parked myself right under Felix's organ right there with a scotch and soda, and as much as I could, I just let myself be influenced by this major soulful talent, back in those days.
Beautiful.
So yeah, the Rascals had a profound effect on me and Vanilla Fudge, ultimately, without a doubt.
Mark Stein is our guest on the Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network. You can go to Mark's website while we're talking if you want to follow along. MarkStein.com. Put a dash between mark-stein.com. Right. All right, so here's the thing, and this is what I was leading up to, right? You're in this amazing environment. It's incredible that era had so much talent. How much of that do you think informed you? I know it felt awesome, but could you see it in your music? Could you see it in your performance, their influences?
Well, yeah, again, you you brought it up. I mean, all the bands that, Vanilla Fudge was like the top touring act in the late 60s. And there was so many amazing bands that came through us. We opened for Jimi Hendrix in 1968, which was an incredible experience. We opened for the Mamas and the Papas was our first show, which was an amazing experience.
Wow.
And as we became successful on our own, became the headliners, bands like Led Zeppelin, after the Yardbirds broke up and Jimmy Page came to America and had a band called Led Zeppelin, with unknowns, Robert Plant, John Bonham, and John Paul Jones. They were unknowns, obviously. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So we were label mates, and they opened for Vanilla Fudge, in their first tour and their second tour. And, all these developments you absorb within your music and your life, vice versa,
Do you
Bands
mind?
like Three Dog Night opened
right.
for us.
Well, can I break in? Can I break in on the Zeppelin thing? I read in the book there was an evening where you actually said to Robert Plant he could move around a little bit. Did I read that right?
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I don't want to sound a little silly or self-righteous, but again, remember, Led Zeppelin, they were just kids starting out, and we were seasoned pros already,
That's it. Well, he
so
wrote
they used
that.
to come and hang out.
Yeah.
They'd hang out with us in the dressing room, and I'd watch them on stage, and I'd, talk. I'd say, Robert, you just got to move around on stage a little more. And Jimmy Page, he was playing a Telecaster, I think, with a pretty small amp, and we were just saying, you got to get bigger amps. I mean,
that's
the
it.
truth.
That's beautiful.
And,
Showbiz, right? That we would never, ever be able to appreciate that if you didn't share it. Thank you. When that era began to change and move into the me 70s, crazy 80s, things are happening. How did that make you feel about the magic of your era? Did you feel like a caretaker, a little bit, a custodian? I'm here. This is going to stick. Did you feel like we should let in what's happening artistically? What do those changes do to a composer like